All right, hello. Hello. So, we are painting today. I don't know if I'm even allowed to be at the place I'm at, but it had a great shadow, and so I'm in the shade, and I'm behind this wall where there's a lot of wind breakage. And so before putting anything too fragile out, I'm testing. This already survived some gusts of wind and all that, and seeing what's happening next. So the reason why I took so much time to find a spot is that yesterday, on the 4th of July, I painted. I had a great spot. It was a blast. It was just, painting ended up looking really good. I might do some studio stuff to tighten it up, because I tried something experimental in the mountains, and it didn't work, but that's okay. That's why I experiment. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get as close as possible to this. And the wind breakage worked last time and everything, and it looks like this is going to work too. Okay, here's the test. Nice. It seemed to work fairly well. So believe it or not, for how windy it is, there's hardly any wind over here, which is nice. So, so far it seems to be working okay. Anyway, so that's what we're using now, is the nickel azo yellow for the underpaintings. I use this a lot, and I probably should, I'm just going to. I've been using it so much. So I'll use that too, and the Van Dyke brown, it's a hue. I don't know what they use. It's a very rich color. I don't know what the hell they're using. I don't know, bro. I can use water on the underpainting here, because this isn't treated with anything. It's essentially just nice, look at that. Yeah, this is essentially just, oh, my language is going now that I'm painting. It's a Bristol. Doing there to there, so I've got a big parking lot. I've got some great buildings over here. So the whole point of this, like the reason why I do these areas, is I really like the buildings and I like the valley, and I'm trying to develop some techniques to really do that kind of stuff quickly with a plein air thing. Like I said, mostly this plein air stuff, you see it all over the place. It's a great exercise to do. You want to do stuff like that. I should probably put that big building here, actually. And there's some other stuff there. That's good. And there's some weird little building there. And this kind of goes off. It's actually smaller. It's actually there's this whole... Yeah, I don't quite know how I'm going to work that one out yet. two look nice. Those freaking colors, dude. Oof. Hooey. Jeez, even for being like protected around this little corner, it's still obnoxious, this stupid wind. Okay, so trees here. There's a bunch of cars here. Chunky cars. There's a little space with some trees right there. Trees there. There's going to be some rooftops and things, but also trees here. Yeah, this wind is so fucking obnoxious. It didn't work showing it. Little miffed about that. Little islands there. Islands there. This whole thing curves there. And another island there. So you can kind of see how this sketch goes. Like, that's the perfect sketch for something. I mean, how fast it was and all that. How big are you? Okay. Slightly different hue. Where do we need to take you? Here. And it comes and curves down behind that. It's actually bigger. It comes down a little steeper. And then comes up that way. And so that is all mountain. Like a sucker, I'm gonna waste a little time and put a little bit of it back in. My whole plein air thing lately has become about like how I get, how I get interesting detail in there. This really needs to go back up that way, actually. Sorry. How I get interesting detail and seemingly a lot of complexity with just very suggestive kind of like brushstrokes and stuff, rather than full painting or full detail. I mean, it's really like economy, overlapping textures and colors and things. And like there are these crazy telephone poles in the way. So at the end, like putting all these telephone poles in with the palette knife, you can build so much visual interest so fast with this stuff. I'm just absolutely loving it, you know. This is a little maybe higher here. Yeah, if I'm going back through it, I might as well lay in some extra details there. So this thing comes in front of all those. So actually that little bit of detail really worked. A lot of the stuff you can't tell, it's like these trees everywhere, which is just blobs of form right now. A lot of the cars and stuff. Yeah, dude, this is gonna be nuts. This is not so good. It's really not. It's really more high up here. It goes down low, with a little peak there, but you know, whatever. It doesn't matter too much at this point. No, we're not going to do an hour. We're going to do a straight hour because, just in case, it wouldn't be worth things. Woo! Yeah, so I filled this thing up to the brim today. I used so much yesterday because of the wind. Like I said, I really liked the results I got yesterday. I just wish the process was fun because I really started moving fast. So I just started getting really globby painting really globby work really fast, and it was kind of a blast. So okay, so as usual, I have that main complement here. Put everything real tight yesterday too, and in a kind of logical place. So this is like Payne's gray I'm putting up top here, and it's just a matter of logic. Like, you can see that you have the really rich brown here and the Payne's gray up here if I want to go muted with it. You know, and I don't mind like using Payne's gray here or there somewhere else, right? So I'm going to put the phthalo blue here, and then I'm going to put a little more. And then I'm going to cheat because I don't usually have too many extra colors with me, but I can't resist. I'm going to put the phthalo green that I just got today out. There's literally I don't see any place for it out in the painting, so whatever. But I'm also going to cheat and put the Hansa out. So I pre-mixed some more of this orange I've been using, really just to kind of get rid of it. It's the quinacridone red and the Hansa yellow light. Of course, I have everyone knows this color, the yellow ochre. It's a little boring. It's a little bit boring. Okay. And I think that's it for this. For my little travel guy here. The purer yellow is in here. So, and the pure red is as well. So this is the Hansa yellow pale, which has been my pure yellow, which I actually have been using a lot more pure yellow than I would have thought lately. Oh shoot, I should have put the other, yeah. Oh, and yesterday I used this unbleached titanium, but it's sort of like made everything chalky, and I kind of don't like that. I have a little bit of this pure red that I shouldn't really even put out because I'll never use it. But what the heck. And then I already put the pale, the Hansa Yellow Pale out, but just, I shouldn't put it here, but I'll use the Hansa Yellow medium, but I'll put it at the end here. Even though I can't really imagine using it there, actually. Oh yeah, re-up the gray. Actually, the gray didn't make things as nearly as chalky as the unbleached titanium. I just don't think I can use it. Every time I use it, I kind of like it, and then I overuse it, and it just isn't good. And you know, I always have a yellow by a white by the yellows. So let's see about that. This is just cheapy Artist Loft white, but like I said, it's light and buttery and stuff. So that's quite an expanded palette. This orange is literally just those two pre-mixed because they got mixed in this thing anyway, which I usually lay in the mountains with the palette knife. You know, I try to keep everything very saturated. Damn it, that is not gonna work. Okay, I realized yesterday the mountains here, due to the color of the rocks, are extremely purple. I mean, compared to, you know, compared to what you might think, at least. The ultra muted colors one usually uses. Damn, it's so hazy at the bottom too. Tried to get that haze yesterday. Okay, so I'm gonna put this all in a big pool here. And so now I'm gonna start I don't want this to get unruly like it got yesterday, but I kind of like having a pool of some like muted blue here, but it's just not right. Okay, so gloss medium. Trying to get a little more conscious of the sheen I'm getting, because of course I want to sell these. I'm going to end up finishing a lot of the paintings I'm doing here. That is, you know, putting a clear coat of something over the top, right? But I'm thinking I want to start caring a little bit more about the quality of the colors, and I'm mostly using these. This is the gloss medium I'm starting to use. It obviously like adds body. Like I said, I had huge pools of color yesterday that I didn't even use. And then this is the matte medium that is pretty common. I use pretty commonly, and it's good stuff. It has a great sheen. This is the Liquitex. This is a cheapy Artist Loft thing. Usually I would use Utrecht. Utrecht's great for that. But the cheapy Artist Loft thing I used this last summer, and it was actually just fine for bulk stuff. Now that I have a big pool of it, and it's sort of thinned out because of the medium, hopefully I can, this white that's going to be more pigment dense, will have a little bit more of an effect. And I'm just going to see where we're at with it. That's a good-ish base. There's a lot of that color coming through, which I like. That'll give some nice sort of subliminal texture and stuff. A little messy there. It'll be easier to carve in from the top, carve in the sky color. Probably end up fudging the sky color a little bit. Okay, so you're going to sucks. This is actually a little bit of a tangent. I'll have to decide if I want to bring this building in front of that skyline ridge or not. But it kind of like actually hits in a tangent right here. And the real world does that all the time, but you never want it to do that, actually. So you actually want to push it to where either this is below, which is what I probably should do, or I make it higher and bring that down even lower. I feel like if I don't do that, then this will just take all the interest in the whole painting. Yeah. So we're bringing this building down. It's probably closer to the sky. It'll drop in value as it dries. Never mind. Okay, yeah, there you go. ridge that throws through here. Goes all the way up. Yeah, the geology on these mountains is insane. And it's really fascinating to paint because the geology often changes color more than like the contours of the mountain, right? So you're having to compensate several ways with color. Yeah. So I have no idea how that's going to read. Another thing here. Oh shit. And over here gets really yellow on that part. Okay. The methodology I've been building lately, which is to go with the real dirty brush next. Actually, I shouldn't. I should go to the sky first because I need to use up some of this. So, go to the sky. The main change is going to be the introduction of the tiniest bit of phthalo and some high white. There's this sort of layer of almost smog at the base of these mountains. Yeah, that looks real, like a little bit sour. But I'll sweeten it as it gets higher real quick. And mainly, I just want the values to work out. Yeah, I don't want to start on all this stuff with the value up here being bright white and then everything changes once I actually get the sky in. So I'm just going to lay something in. I'll lay this sort of smoggy color everywhere just to begin with. You notice I'm not like narrating the colors I use when I mix. You're just gonna have to like follow along. You know, I'll try to like zoom in on everything whenever I can edit it in. You know, but I can't like concentrate on the names of all these colors and stuff, and then mixing. Like most of the mixing, I'm just doing on the fly, and I'm doing sort of intuitively. That's not to say there isn't method. There's major method for it. So I'll explain some of that. So I had to teach her once. There was a woman in the Bay Area. Really interesting. She did these funny little gouache paintings. But she of course, like really knew her stuff. It's just, I'm not sure if she was a fine artist or what. In the Bay Area, I'm not sure at a certain level. I'm not sure it even matters, right? Because there's just such a huge crossover between like gallery work and, or at least back in the day, gallery work and commercial work. And commercial people ended up in galleries, and gallery people didn't often as much go the gallery route, because commercial work is pretty lucrative, right? And so it's kind of like easy to, and I did this in my design work, and I ended up going into like, software design and all that, because of course that's where the market was. There's like no clouds here, so I'm just gonna go. You can see it's about the right value here. It'll probably dry a little bit. It'll probably dry a little bit dark, but I'm just gonna kind of like feather it or whatever into, it's funny. Actually, I'm doing some commercial painting work and sanding and stuff too. And there's a lot. They use words like feather. I never use the word like feather in fine art. In my painting, it's you just blend. But anyway, I'm going to feather/blend this into the sort of smog color at the bottom, and what will be. Okay, but this woman said something interesting once, and it was someone talked about like mixing pools of color, kind of like we do here. I probably said this 100 times. But I'll say it again. And her whole thing was like, okay, I don't know. I don't mix pools of color. It's like I'm always changing. I'm always moving colors so fast. Like, why would I want a pool of color, right? So I feel like I'm kind of splitting the difference a little bit in that I'm moving colors quickly, changing colors quickly, but I can have this pool of color, and now I'm altering various colors from like this central pool of color, right? Just what I'm doing now. And I like having this because now I can go right back up and I'm like right at this core color again for what was happening in the mountains, right? And I want that because now I'm going back to touch in the mountains. And I don't really know why, other than I can. I'm a painter. But anyway, so yesterday was really interesting because I was kind of using her philosophy a little more than usual, because my palette was drying so fast in this intense wind that I'm like, I don't care, I got to skip around really quick and start just laying these colors down. And that's what I did. And there's something to it, and there's something to this, like having to keep stay on your toes, where you're moving through the color space really quickly, right? And I'll show you on I'll show you on this painting where that happened, because I was really happy with the result. And and some of it was using existing pools of color, some of it was not. And it was just kind of whatever went in the moment, whatever I needed to do in the moment is what I did. And I really liked it. And of course it got results. So like I'm saying that her philosophy is right on point. And the thing is, when you're in, and this was like art school in the 90s, like before technology ruled the day, right? So you really had to know your color. And when everyone is there and they know their color and they're using their paint and their knowledge to its fullest all the time, you get really sharp with your color mixing. And then, you know, as you go into the commercial world, so happens that some of these things dull a little bit, right? Because you don't use it. You don't use it as often. I mean, that was like the main thing with the technology, is the technology really dulls the need for knowledge. you could just compensate and rely on technology quite often. So, hey. And so the point would be to get out or to I don't know. That's what I like about Plein Air versus what's happening all over the place now, is you still have to get in there and it's just you and the palette, right? So I'll try to get some of that in here with this, where it's just real lively, like on the fly color mixing. Got visitors here just pulled up, so it sucks, but we'll see. So I'm going to bring the color down a little, so you can see that halo crap. I didn't need to get that going. Yeah, I'm really just, to be honest, that's actually a fair approximation of what's going on out there. I almost feel like I might end up putting a different color here. That's smog. You know what I am going to put to use that phthalo turquoise. So anyway, once everything starts drying too quickly, you've got to jump back in and really get nimble with your color. So that was the most fun that happened yesterday, and it like really showed, because you'll get these. You might even see here and there. I mean, you can even see with this, like for example, I'll leave this slight green there, but I'm not going to touch it too much over in these other places. I'll just leave this for now. I mean, maybe it'll end up being where this looks better everywhere, but for now, I'm okay with maybe just slight variation over the course of the mountain like that. Gosh, I'm really not liking that halo effect. I really didn't mean to do that. Damn it. See, the only reason I'd use this color now would be to just touch that whole thing. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Oh. All right. We'll see how it looks as the painting progresses. Not gonna cry over that too much. Okay, so I also wanted to use the color, and it's pretty much drying, all drying now, but figured I might as well have a go at using all that up too before I just scrape it off as I get into here. So I'll give you a good example here. I'll try to instantly practice what I just preached here. Damn. See, and this is like drying up. It's fucking drying in the wind. Go a little pale with it. You know, that pale yellow just intensifies that. Such a crap color. Alright. So I'm going to split this. I'll use this as the pool color. Split this and go super orange on this side and super yellow on this side. This goes green real quick, and I'll show you where in a second. Oh, I know what I did last time. Brutal. All right. We need more. See if we'll. For azo yellow can come to our goal here. Come to our aid. A little bit. A little bit. All right. This I could do here. It's way too minty, that green. Let's see, I'm trying to put it here. So what happens with this is it's in this same color range, but over here it starts out very red, and we're into some architecture. Didn't want to define that architecture too much because I wanted this square brush, but there's actually some spots where it could really use some color. So look at this whole spectrum I'm getting right here. I don't know how well you can see it. Yeah. And so I'm jumping through the red to yellow to green, and this whole spectrum moves from red, yellow to green, right? And then over here, it actually goes back pale again, but it's quite a bit different than the core colors over there. I could actually use this gray. It looks slightly greenish compared to everything else, but it's very much just a cool gray. And that is working fine. I'll just take this out to here. I'm not being precise at all, really. I want splotches. Because that's how it's just going to read. And so the whole point is to put these big splotches in, and I've explained it before, where it's this field of sort of vibrating shapes, right? So from here, start to lay in this warm here. Which at certain points gets very warm. Okay, look how fast I'm moving through colors, just as I see them. I don't know what. Oh, that was the azo. See how intense that is? That's that new azo yellow. Ooh. Ooh. What a thing. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. There's this trick too, that you don't want to like stay on a certain green too much. Or at least that's my little rule of thumb here, because there's so many different kinds of trees and so many different kinds of greens and color space that you can easily flatten a piece out just by throwing in the same green everywhere, which you don't want to do. Why I'm doing this? This actually needs to be. Oh yeah. Shit. Just leave that little nuance there. Yeah, look how quick I'm just moving through the color space here. Just slight variations like that. It's a little more blue. So you have like blue, orange. There's like blue, red, and then slightly different blue. Like I don't even know what. And there's slight differences. And yeah, it's gonna be there. There, two. Shit, I don't know how that's all gonna play out. This is a weird thing. And there's a really artificial green coming off of there, which probably looks more like my azo color here. Underneath here, I have that same color with an intense green variation under it. I don't know how much it's going to read, but change the color quick, because what it means is these are in a different angle, so the light's hitting them differently, which means there's going to be a slight change in their color. I'm going to put this away. Is that good? Oh, I'll use this light. Oh, that's what I was going to do originally. This was the Hansa light yellow, or Hansa pale rather, so it's going to be like a pale green yellow, which I've been using for the greens lately out here, but it's limited. It's really hard to use sometimes. But this whole section like morphs through from, like, it's essentially going from orange to a kind of green, and I'm just trying to like nab it really quick. I'm not sure I need any more than that. Using the rough brush for this, the rough bristles, so if I because this is natural stuff, not man-made, on a couple of spots throughout there, and another one where I'll grab this green again, and this green is blowing my mind. I don't even know how it got so minty. But there, I just purpled it up here. Do I dare throw that azo in there? Yeah, that azo's on the warm side. Okay. Changed up slightly. Change it up slightly again. Go lighter with it. Or yellow, green. There we go. Finally, some functional greens in there. Or some very foliage-like greens. There's some stuff down here that will hopefully pay off a little later. And actually it goes through here. I'm going to use the pale and the Hansa. that got very jelly. That's not good. Yeah, see, that's the kind of green I didn't want, but I feel like it's good. Like, I just want the variation here. Out of this mint. Get out of that mint a little bit, and I threw it back in, but look at that. What the fuck is that thing? Dude, I saw a little mouse run into a hole in the ground that I didn't even know there was a hole there. It like disappeared. It was the craziest shit. Nice. Let's see if I can change that up. See, I brought that in there. They were the same, so I flicked something on there. I got it. Good. All right. Oh, shoot. Okay. Dang, this front building is so light. This looks dark by comparison. I'm going to keep these shapes in here, but I do want some indicators of the proper value over there. Just to see. From there and there. Jesus, these fucking people over here, dude. Alright. There's a nice value there. There's one moving off in the valley. These stark whites. Essentially as close to white as you can get. I mean, just look at that. Just look at how just those little indications start to build. Just build on your understanding of what's happening out there anyway. I mean, especially when you live out here, you see this kind of landscape all the time, right? God fucking time. Yeah, so I'm in the middle of a not parking lot, but it's like just these people came up and like slowly rode their bikes up and just sat there like eating, so I could like hear them chewing and just like goofy little conversations, like the most uncomfortable thing, just over here blabbing about painting. Just there like, what? Thanks, dude. Thanks, bro. But they just left finally, and it just took them forever to leave. Not that they did anything offensive. It wasn't that. It was just like, it's just weird and uncomfortable. I'm essentially talking to myself here, right? The real world. All right, so I'm throwing some indications. Like, I'm still building off that core color. It was just slightly off of the, I know all these fucking okay, the ochre, yellow ochre. I hate trying to think of color names while I'm mixing, man. Hate it, man. But anyway, I'm still totally building off of all of those colors. It's great because all the colors are like slightly in this family, and there's just so much variation on it still. For this fucking wind. All right. So we could see how fast and often I was building color variation. Hey, perfect timing for the alarm. An hour on the dot. Look, I even still have some of this color pool that makes me want to throw fudgy color in the back here. This is definitely what I'm not liking about me using the mediums is there's a lot of these colors I've been laying down which are weak. Okay, so just like I laid in the sky, you know what? Oh, shoot. It's not even close to that color. Okay. I don't care. I need a blob right there of green. I don't care. Fix you later. I need a blob of green. Here. Here. A lot of variation I like, but I just need a couple of big blobs. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to build now pavement color. I should do it here, but I'm going to do it where I shouldn't do it, which is here. What is this beautiful little color I have here? What should I do with that? Put a little... Gosh, this is nowhere. That sucks. Honestly. All right. Man, the sky color keeps paying off, or the mountain color rather, which is good because I used to have another art teacher that used to talk about how all the colors in here end up in the sky. But I actually find that you can do it the other way too, where you build that sky color, and why not just keep adding that into everything else that happens below, which makes sense because that's what's happening. Is like what's happening below is picking up sky everywhere. So it's actually maybe more rational the other way. Instead of the sky picking up all the stuff below is picking up the sky. Especially something like pavement. Yeah, so this definitely won't be dark enough. Gosh. So now this is my straight up complement. There's little Payne's Gray, but I've also got the Ultramarine and the other complement. Yeah, Ultramarine. Remember, I don't even have my glasses on. Oh, I covered up a good. Yeah, okay. So I am literally just like burning through these like shapes here. Shadows cast on the concrete. Oh, that's so cool. Not as many as you'd think. But over here, there should be a lot more. Okay. Actually, it's interesting. You're the only person who's ever shown that. Actually, it's interesting. You're the only person. Oh, man, no, it means you actually are thinking about people. It's interesting guy. Okay, I'm going to go slightly brown on this because it's actually picking up a lot of reflections from a different direction than a lot of this stuff. That is an interesting color. I have no idea what this color technically is. It's a lot of stuff, but it's a very mid-range thing that's picking up a lot of the colors in here. And the minute I put it on, I just saw it everywhere. And shit, I want to work that whole area through there, but I don't want to lose this color. Okay, that's good, that's good. Let's over here. There. Okay, I've introduced a little more warmth into this. So I'm going to try to paint some sort of odd directionality into the pavement while still kind of keeping the hints of the coolness that's picking up stuff from the sky. Yeah, it's getting really weird. It's getting really weird. I wonder how much of this is because of my glasses. What's actually happening is there's foliage that comes here that I should put in, like laying in like little patches of color everywhere, thinking I could tie it all together later. And now I'm just wondering how. It's like all my main pools of color are basically dried up here. The only ones really surviving are some pavement type things, the sort of higher mid-range stuff. Can I do anything with you? Follow my rule here of here, here. And that goes here. it sucks that big truck that was there moved. So now all that remains is a memory of this. You're still there. There's a guy there. And there. Ooh, what are you going to look like? Way. No way. So a bunch of little things up here.